What's up, guys? Tim Halstead here. Hey, I just wanted to make this quick video to kind of give you the heads up since racing season is almost here. I'm working on the motor now. My next video, which would be episode 41, will have me tightening up the mains. I'm going to get that ready. I got the heads back there with all the roll pins installed, and I think I'm doing pretty good with the roller pattern or the contact patch for the rocker arms. Now, I mentioned the, I call it mid-lift theory, and I've been talking to Russell Saliba. He's from down under, and he kind of gave me some ideas on it because I think I'm going to try to do that. Not a lot of people go by that. They go by that contact patch, but you're kind of leaving some on the table because that 80 thousandths that you see in the difference in that rocker arm position when you change it to the cam degrees, and I said last time like a millionth to a degree, but really you're changing a couple of degrees, that 80 thousandths translates down in the cam area for timing. I don't know. That's, you know, this thing's a pro stock motor, but if it's something I can figure out and do, I'm going to try it. And I also want to welcome Oren Brothers into, I guess it's like a sponsorship for me. They're going to help me out with setting up the fuel system for my car. Here's the thing about them guys. I've read about them on Yellow Bullet in the past, and I know they are very knowledgeable in fuel systems, anything to do with it, whether it's setting up the fuel lines, the fittings, the fuel systems, the aeromotive system, they carry that line. So it's always good to talk to someone that knows the product. You know, you compare that to somebody like at Jegs or Summit, you might get someone that knows a little bit about cars, but they never raced. Very rarely do you get somebody, you know, and if I'm wrong, then I apologize. But for the most part, the people are looking up a part number by a car or a motor, nothing really custom. But I have talked to guys in the past at Jegs that were pretty knowledgeable back in the day. And I'd always try to get them when I order parts. But with Oren Brothers, you're getting personal service. Those guys have been in business since like 1944. They have like hydraulic lines, high pressure lines, AN fittings, PTFE fuel hose, a whole ton of racing products. So I'm going to hook up with them. They're going to help me with the fuel lines on this and the fittings. And I really appreciate it, John and Joel. Thank you very much. I'll mention a video that you're going to see on here, and it's kind of a warning type video. It happened to me probably about a year ago, maybe longer, but it doesn't matter when it happened, but it did happen, because check it out. I was checking the fuel pressure with the car static, not running, and my wife was up there looking at the front, and she noticed that there was fuel coming from a fitting. I'm like, what? So I shut it off and went back there, and you'll see this video. I took a video of it. All right, hon, just turn it on. All right, turn it off. Now, if I wouldn't have noticed that, that could have been a huge fire. I mean, no one wants to get burned alive. That's one of the worst things, and that's one of the fears I would think about in drag racing. But you know what? That's a chance we take. So you make sure your car is safe. Make sure you got good fittings. I would never buy Chinese fittings again. I did put Chinese fittings on this one time. This is in 2013 when I first started this 408 combination. Since then, I've replaced every fitting that leaked. Every one of them leaked. I have a couple left for the vent line on this. It's all going to, I think, PTFE after I discuss with John and Joel, which is best for my situation. You know, the PTFE has the liner in it, so it doesn't evaporate, doesn't smell. It's a great option. And it's good for any fuels, alcohol, methanol, E85. And I've only ran the rubber hose in here. I think it was PTFE line, but I don't know. But it's been in there since 2013. It's time to change it. So thanks, Oren Brothers. And I want to give a shout out to Patrick at Pro Systems. I've known Patrick a long time, since 2003. That carburetor back there that I've been racing with, I bought that in 2003. I'll tell you, it's been the best carburetor I ever had. Really had to do hardly anything to it other than change the O-ring for the needle and seat. That thing would dry rot or crack after a while, and it would flood over. As soon as it did that the first time, I figured out I'd just do preventive maintenance and change it like once a year. So I appreciate you, Patrick, for hooking me up. And I'll tell you what we're doing. He has a new carburetor out. It's called the King Cobra VX. It's bad, man. Bad looking. I love that thing. on another note, so I was talking to him on the phone, and I was telling him how I was dealing with Orm Brothers and how I'm putting new lines in it and stuff, and that I used to run this Barry Grant, you know, and you know the whole story if you keep track of the videos. And then I got an Aeromotive from my buddy Brian, and I was going to use that. But at this point, after him and I started talking, he says, listen, I'll hook you up with that carburetor. I'll sponsor you. How about a new fuel pump? And he's going to hook me up with a fuel pump, a new regulator. I'm going to work with Orm Brothers on the line and some other parts because, you know, they don't have just parts. So the next part of the video, I'm going to end up tightening up the mains and finish this part up. I got the heads back there. And what I want to do is get the mains set up. Then I can turn the motor over and get the head set up because I want to order those push rods. I want to welcome Smith Brothers push rods also because they're hooking me up. And that's Eric and Jeff. Because they're hooking me up, and I appreciate that, guys. Smith Brothers. I talked to Eric. He's really into the technical aspect, and Jeff's more into the marketing or handles that aspect of the department. He's going to work with me on that. We'll see what we can use for this 409 Cleveland. They're pretty excited about it. You know, and I told him the thing that I asked for help, and if someone can help me out, I'm not afraid to ask. Because, see, this is the thing. When you deal with these guys on a personal level, and that's why I'm giving you their name, because you call them up and you talk to them. Tell them I sent you, DragBoss sent you. And then they'll know that we're all in the same boat. You know, we're serious about our racing program. We want the best performance we can get, and we want the right parts. We don't want to buy parts we don't need. And that's where it comes in for personal service. So, also, another shout out for Darren Morgan. I appreciate the help, Darren. I know you guys aren't seeing a lot of technical stuff on this, but hopefully this is a short video. I appreciate Orm Brothers for coming aboard with this build. We're going to try to build this channel. We got a lot of subscribers right now. I think we're at 780. And we're going to keep going with different tech things that I can do. Although it's my car, I think you can use these principles in everything you do. So I appreciate it, Orm Brothers, for coming aboard. I appreciate Patrick from Pro Systems talking with you today and getting that carburetor going. That should be 6 days. It'll be here with the new fuel system. And I thank you, Smith Brothers, for coming there to help me out with this. Getting the right push rod length and the correct geometry, because I know it's going to make a difference. I also want to give a shout out to Todd Quinn from Platinum Engines. Todd and I have dynoed a few engines together. This will be number 3. We'll hopefully do this in the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're planning on it. It'll be a good test. You know, me putting this thing together without any help from old Don Rohde, R.I.P. Don. So I'm kind of psyched about that, but I also have a little apprehension. But you know what? You got to do what you got to do. You take that chance. If this thing survives and it makes good power like I'm hoping with the heads without any issues, hell yeah, I'm ready for that DragBoss. We're going to work with Cams, which is in Canton, Ohio. Canton Auto Ohio Machine. And I haven't talked to them in a while. I know they're probably busy getting people ready. And I haven't forgot about you guys. Keith is the guy there. If you need anything at that area, or if you're around that area, talk to those guys. They're cool, man. Appreciate it. I try not to bother people unless I'm going to work with them or if I need a few questions, but I try not to email too many questions. And I think guys appreciate that because their time's valuable. Not that ours isn't, but you know, we all got to be considerate. So stay inside your garage, quarantine yourself in the garage with this coronavirus because it ain't no joke, or COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. I've seen a lot of stuff going on in the ER I won't get into, and something to be concerned about. Stay tuned.